Hi everybody, I'm Bob Schneider. Welcome to the Song Club. I knew it was a bad idea to meet you in my... All right, here we are. I'm back, bitch. I took a month off, and then I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to even do podcasts anymore. And then I had a bunch of people, and when I say bunch, I mean 2 people asked me if I'm still doing the podcast, and I said, I guess so, because 2 people want it. So if 2 people want it, here's what I am. Give the people what they want, and even if the people is 2 people. So here's to you 2 people, and also the other, I don't know, don't get me wrong, there's literally, it's in the 3 digits of people who listen to this podcast, so that's pretty cool. I do feel like that chick in 8th grade, the movie though, a lot, which doesn't make me feel good, because unlike that chick in 8th grade, I'm not in 8th grade. Now, am I the 8th grade teacher? I'm not even the 8th grade teacher. I'm too old to be the 8th grade teacher. Am I the 8th grade teacher's father? Probably. And he's like, how's school been going? And he's like, these kids these days, and I know. I'm like, I know. Believe me. Anyways, welcome everybody to the Song Club. I'm glad you're here. The few people that are here. And again, maybe in the future somebody will watch this, but that's what all crazy people say. All crazy people are like, the guys that build like the giant monuments in their backyard, like sculpture monuments and stuff out of bottle caps and broken glass and concrete and stuff. They're like, one day somebody will check this out. And it's true. Like one day somebody will like tour that shit and go, oh, this is fucking nuts that somebody built all this shit. But they won't care about the person, and it won't help the person because that person's dead, boy. They're gone. So yeah, so even if it happens and I'm dead, it's not going to help me any. But your legacy, son, what about your children? No, my children need to fucking figure shit out on their own. They can't live off daddy's teat. I mean, I think that's why, like, Bill Gates and stuff, he's like, I ain't leaving shit to these kids, because if you do, man, it does not bode well for those children. Anybody who's like given the world, they're like drug overdose, or it's not good. Anyways, hopefully I don't think that's going to happen. I'm counting on my son taking care of me when I'm old. Counting on it. Is he gonna? Probably not. Do I want him to? Not really. I want to be able to take care of myself. But I mean, there'll come a time in my hundies. When I get into my hundies, I know some of you are like, you ain't getting into your hundies, boy. I might not. I'm fine with not getting into my hundies. That seems old, but it seems old now. But give it a couple years and give AI some, like, here's a fucking chemistry lab, AI, figure it out. AI be like, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding ba beep ba beep ba ding up, ding. We got it. What is that? Oh, it's the way to reverse aging. So what do? You just take this and it reverse ages you, and then you take this other thing when you want to stop reverse aging, like Benjamin Buttons, and they're like, well, how can we fucking turn this into a monthly thing that you have to pay $3,000 for? Because then if we can do that, we can make millions. And they'd be like, here you go. Here's a pill that works. And you got to do it every day for the rest of your life. And if you don't, then it's like the picture of Dorian Gray. You turn into a fucking zombie, like one of those mummies. And then the big pharma's like, oh, we won the lottery. But they're all young looking now because they took the drugs themselves. But they, of course, don't pay for it, but they're like living. Dude, that's the thing. These people that have all the dough, but they're old, they're fucked. Because they can't spend all the dough. And, sure, they can buy whores. They can buy people. That's what they do. People who have a lot of money essentially buy people. Now, if there's people with a lot of money listening to this, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the people that aren't listening to this with a lot of money that buy people. And we allow it. I mean, we don't call it slavery. Because, that's like a bad word, and we don't allow it anymore, and we look down upon it. But trust me, when you go in and you order a burger at McDonald's, or you go into a Starbucks and order a fucking venti, whatever the fuck, just know you might not see, tattered old shirt, a tattered old torn shirt that grandma darned in the barn where everybody sleeps. They might not be wearing a damn, one of those hats with a hole in it, fucking smoking a damn corn cob pipe. Dude, how about the old days? You just get a piece of bamboo and stick it into a goddamn corn on the cob, fucking whittle that out, and just put whatever the fuck you can find in there. I mean, if you live in Virginia, you're putting the fucking straight up tobacco in there. And then you're just smoking a goddamn corn cob pipe. You know that shit's good. Especially back in those days. That pre-Netflix, everything pre-Netflix was more enjoyable. Like root beer. If you're drinking root beer in the world where there's Netflix, what are you doing? Root beer was pre-Netflix shit, boy. Like, for me to enjoy anything now, it's got to be like fucking... it's got to be at the level of Toblerone or above. Like, I barely can enjoy Hershey's chocolate, anything, which is, pre-Netflix. If somebody gave you a Hershey's bar, you would literally, like, kill somebody for it. You'd be like, who am I supposed to kill now? Is it a member of my family? Yes, you need to kill your aunt. And then I get the whole candy bar, just a piece. You get the whole candy bar, son. Well, she lived a good life. But now that there's Netflix, you're like, I don't even know if I want that Hershey's. Oh, you got some new kind of Hershey's? Oh, we mixed it up, boy. We got the remix. It's cookies and cream with fucking your daddy's dick. All fucking dung ding dung ding dung ding dang. AI's in there. We have covered more mixes for your, now that Netflix is here, you must create more mixes. Anyways, yeah. I'm glad I started doing the podcast again, even though I only took a month off. I feel like where would all this stuff go that I'm talking about now? Certainly no one would listen to it. Not a real person. My wife certainly wouldn't. As soon as I start talking, my wife's like, She just goes, she doesn't say like, excuse me, honey, or anything like that. As soon as I start talking, she just turns into the front of what I assume is a future Exorcist poster. Her mouth is like super wide, like Scream wide. There's no eyes. It's just black holes where her eyes are. So I try not to look. But if I happen to glance at her as soon as I say even like this much, hey, just that, hey, and I'm going to say, hey, honey, I've got a thought that I find interesting. I'd like to share with you because we're married and we live together, and I'm sure you'd be, I'm a fascinating person, and I'm sure you'd love to listen to this sort of thought that popped into my head, and we can bat it around like a ping pong ball and have a fun, good time talking about stuff. So I'll just be like, huh. And before even I get to the end of the E sound, before I get to the A part, she turns into what I assume is a demon. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what a demon is, but it's a scary thing. It's a giant, gaping black maw. No eyes, black holes where eyes are supposed to be. And she's just at a deafening scream, as loud as anybody can make sound come out of their body. I don't know who that would be. I'm sure there's a Guinness Book of World Records for it. She's just like, stop talking. I'm like, oh shit. And then she'll follow that with like, all you do is talk about yourself. Anyways, at that point, I'm so like, I have so much PTSD just from the initial like stop part that after that, everything becomes, I don't know, fragmented at best. Because I'm a sensitive person. I'm like a flower. And if you took like a little Texas wildflower, like a little purple, I don't know what they're called, but like one of those little Texas, there's a rain. It's been dry for a while. Then there's a rain, and then after the rain, the sun comes out, and all of a sudden, like a little tiny delicate purple flower comes. That's me. I'm that tiny delicate flower. And then I'm like, hey, it's a beautiful day, and I'm a purple flower. Let me share an idea. And then my wife is like that scene at the end of Once Upon a Time in America with the blowtorch. She's just like, until there's nothing there. It's just scorched earth. And then after, and then she'll be like, why are you so angry? And I'm like, am I angry? I just thought I was just black scorched death on earth. Like the bottom of a pan from the 40s. Just a black burnt pan. Anyways, having said that, let's get into the song club, because it's been a wonderful month. It's we're in the wonderful year of 2024, and January has just passed, and I wrote some songs in January, as I want to do every year. And so January, I usually take a couple months off, a couple weeks off, so I have a lot of time to write. So usually I write some good stuff in January. I think this is no exception, but I could be wrong. Let's listen to some of them. I'm just going to go down the list. I don't really have these in any particular order, but the first song that we're going to listen to from this past month, is called How I Stole the Prince's Wife. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good song. It's a different kind of song than I normally write. And so it's different. It's not like a normal song. I don't even know. I'm going to play it tonight at the Saxon Pub. And we'll see how it goes. I haven't played it live yet. And we'll see. You never know. Sometimes a song will surprise you. You think, well, I'll probably not play this very much. And then you play it and then you're like, oh yeah, this somehow works. But let's check it out. And now it starts off with this little thing. It sounds like it sounds like a rinky dink sort of drum machine. And what I did was I was kind of looking around the studio, and I found this old case. And at some point I met a guy, hopefully he's listening, maybe he can contact me, from the Suzuki company. Not the motorcycle company, but I guess Suzuki, wherever they're from, Japan, Korea, they make instruments. And he sent me a bunch of instruments. He sent me some harmonicas, which were cool. And then he sent me an auto chord, sort of an omnichord thing that they make, which wasn't great. Then he sent me this thing that's all in Chinese or Japanese or whatever, some other language the alphabet's different. It's Asian looking. And I don't know how to work it. It's got a thing on it. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And then but it's all in a different language, so I don't understand anything. I can kind of turn it on, press the different buttons, and it makes different sounds. It's sort of sound. I think it's supposed to sound like one of those, like Chinese instruments, like dong, 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 or Japanese. Again, I'm getting it all confused because I've never been to Japan or China, so it's all, I just know it from the like kung fu movies. And so, anyways, it's like that. Anyways, they had this sort of drum setting. And so the thing starts off, and it's just the speaker on this thing, which is kind of, it's a portable thing, so it's kind of small and weird sounding. Anyways, I like the beat that I got, and half the beat's me clicking the keys on it, so it's like you can hear me clicking. That's part of the beat. And let's check it out. This is called How I Stole the Prince's Wife. Yeah, that sounds like that Japanese... we about to put on some wooden shoes up in this bitch.
Yeah, shine like the damn sun. Guys made of mud, got the metal skull, made of concrete, legs sun bleached, all the way to my feet. Can you see me? Ooh man, I'm an invisible beam. Boom man, shine through the night. Boom man, attending the wedding of the prince. Man, stole his wife. Boom man, it was quite a night. Boom man, I got
This thing's
real tiger,
humming at this
made
point.
of bones. Oh man, I live alone. Oh man, institutionalized. What? I'm violently shy. Got a parking garage. Fuck, too many stories. What? I'm underground too. What? Yeah, chunky kung fu. Oh man, on the moon.
Damn, this is some.
From NASA.
Drive around in your car and this with this thing.
Track a lot of acid. Not crazy about clowns. My girl, she likes to shop. She says, I got my card. I'm not buying girl shit. I'm dreaming of the sun. Oh shit, she's dreaming of the sun. I can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. You got a whole lot of hoes. Got a whole lot of hoes.
All right, anyways, you kind of get the idea. There's not really much of a chorus. It kind of changes and jumps, goes in. Then there's another section coming up where it kind of breaks into something else. So it's different, and I like it. It was kind of fun to listen to. And I think it's good to write those kind of songs every once in a while because it kind of frees. Like, here's what you don't. I think a terrible thing to do is to block your creativity by like only writing songs that you think are going to be good. Like, I think that's where people go wrong, especially in places like Nashville or, LA or whatever, where they get together and try to write like hit songs. I don't think there's anything worse for your creativity than inviting a critic into the writing situation where you're like, well, this isn't good. This isn't good. You should just have fun. Like, you should just be having fun, trying to crack yourself up, make yourself laugh, have a good time, and whatever that is, and really work out that muscle, the having fun muscle. And then I think if you do that, you'll end up, I just wrote 2 songs that I really like, which you'll hear next month because this is a weird month because we're already well into February and I'll tell you what. Yeah. So the song I wrote, I did write it. I didn't. I'll edit all this out later. Don't worry about it. I did. So the song I wrote after How I Stole the Prince's Wife was called If You Ask the Heart, which is a really kind of a beautiful song, which is a song that I might play a lot or I may not. You never know. But it's completely different. But I think the reason I was able to write If You Ask the Heart is because I wrote this sort of silly How I Stole the Prince's Wife. Now I wrote another song before If You Ask the Heart, taking what I was saying even further. So I wrote How I Stole the Prince's Wife. Every once in a while I get in this funk where I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to write another good song again. It happens all the time. It's happened the entire time I've been writing songs. For 30 years, I'll just be like, well, that's it. I'm not going to ever write another good song. And then, then I'll write a good song every once in a while. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So, anyways, so I wrote this song. It's called Have You Seen the Sun? Now, I picked up a guitar here in the studio that was completely not in tune and started playing it and was just fucking around on it and started recording. And it sounds like I can't think of the Shags, that band, the Shags. It's a girl group that sounds really like their music's all fucked up. And people collect that record because it's like real raw and the songs they sound like they all have like Down syndrome or something. Anyway, it's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of stuff that's like not good, and just to kind of like it because it's like quirky. Like a lot of people are into Daniel Johnston, and like I remember going into Sound Exchange back in in 89, 90, and I would see these Daniel Johnston cassettes. And I wish I would have bought them because, I'm sure those things are rare now and probably collectible. But I was like, can I check this out? And I would listen to it. I'm like, well, this isn't very good at all. And I've kind of always been that way. I'm not a big like anything that's like hipster or like cool or faddish. I'm like, no. Is it good? Because here's what's good. Christopher fucking Cross. That's what's fucking good. Arc of a Diver is fucking good. Now, it's not cool. But fuck cool. I like good. I like good over cool. Anyways, I shouldn't say that because my manager, my manager, I guess, de facto manager is the guy who managed Daniel Johnson. I mean, I'm not sure if my manager is Drew Dunleavy, but he's got a company with this guy who manages Daniel Johnson. I should give him a shout out, Tom Gimbel. Anyways, I'm sure he listens to this. I'm sure he listens to all my stuff. He keeps up with what I do. So, hey, shout out to Tom. Shout out to Drew. Drew definitely is going to listen to this. He's going to be like, what are you fucking talking? Dude, what are you doing? Anyways, that's fine. That's what he's supposed to do. He's my manager. He's supposed to like keep track on your boy and go, hey man, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just being real as fuck, dude. I'm feeling real as which is what what you guys, the 425 people who are going to listen to this podcast, they want me to keep it real as F. And that's what I'm doing. So this is for you guys. And there are other people that do that. It's not like I'm the only one. Anyways, let me get back to the song. So I wrote this song on this fucked up, shitty guitar. Didn't try to tune it. Just did one pass. Didn't try to like go back and re-edit it or anything. And then I was like, oh, let me add some more music to this. So then I picked up, I don't know, like a banjo, I think. Picked up a melodica, which is not in tune to the guitar, so that sounds really fucked up. Then I pulled out the old trombone, which I don't know how to play the trombone at all. I mean, I played the baritone horn in 7th grade, which is a small tuba, which is in the same range as a trombone. But trombone don't have it doesn't have those little finger things. It's just got that sliding dad. And I'll be sliding that thing around. It doesn't seem to help. Anyway, so I added a trombone track. Then I added a African thumb drum track because, it needs that. Anyways, and then I just ended up with this song, which I just assumed, well, I'll probably send this out to the song group, because it's kind of funny. And but before I sent it out, I wrote this other song, which is really beautiful, called If You Ask the Heart. So anyways, let's listen to the one I did with the fucked up guitar and all the instruments I can't play. And let's see what we think. Here it is. Have You Seen the Sun is what it's called.
Have you seen the sun? It's gone. Have you seen the sun? My island flower. Have you seen the sun? Have you seen the sun? It's was wondering when it would be back.
Oh yeah, I added some extra vocals, and then I found a clip on YouTube.
When will it be back again? Oh, when will it be?
Why are all these cows here? What is so important going on here?
Anyways, you get the idea. So that song is what it is, which is fine. And it was fun to make, and I enjoyed making it. But then the songs are due in my song game club that I have. They're due on Tuesday. So I did that one, I don't know, over the weekend. That's all I could come up with. But then on Tuesday, I'm like, you know what? Let me just take one more crack and see if I can come up with something. And then I wrote this song called If You Ask the Heart, which I think is pretty beautiful. And the prompt, if the prompt is bad, it doesn't help, by the way, writing a song. So the prompt was Island Flower, which I thought at the time was a good prompt, but then when you try to wedge Island Flower into a song, it sometimes it's hard. It's not like, like My One and Only or something. You can put that in anywhere. Anyway, so you heard it. You heard the prompt on the Have You Seen the Sun? Have you seen the sun? My Island Flower. So anyways, I got to wedge it in this song as well. But this song, again, I think is much more of a success. Here it is. If You Ask the Heart. Oh, that's nice. So I had the volume turned down, so when I turned it on, you couldn't hear it, so that's cool. But don't worry. The cool thing about this podcast is I edit a lot out later, so we'll edit that out. All right, here it is. If You Ask the Heart. Already it's like fucking American or something, which, brings the ladies to the whatever.
Dreaming of sunshine on a cloudy day.
It has been cloudy around here.
Hoping that things gonna turn around and go my way. Looking for a miracle on a Saturday night. I know the church is on Sunday, but this feels so right.
I mean, that's pretty beautiful right there. I like that little part.
There's something about your smile. It's a place I've never seen, a place I could only imagine in a dream. I'm not asking for much, just give me a chance to show what you might find if you let go. If you ask your heart on me, really listen.
That's the money right there, boy. For sure. For sure.
If you ask your heart on me, you might find what you're missing.
Yeah, so I had to write How I Stole the Prince's Wife, and then that other crazy song with the, weird guitar, out-of-tune guitar, to get to that If You Ask the Heart, which is, kind of a beautiful song and it's a song I can play and, a song I can put out there into the world. And, so yeah, but I at no point did I shut down the creative process. I feel like it's important to keep the creative process going. I think that's why a lot of people, especially really successful songwriters, have a hard time continuing to write songs later in life, because they've already written these great songs, and now they're like, well, the songs I write have to be as good as those, even though they're never as good. Like James Taylor wrote all his best songs early on, and he just kept writing songs that kind of sound like those songs. They just weren't that good. Now, I think he probably stopped putting the juice in his body. And by juice, I mean that heroin. And I think once you stop that heroin, it's kind of hard to get back to that heroin standard, I call it. Most of the music I like, not most of it, but some of it, a lot of it. That Abbey Road, I mean, that's just John Lennon putting that juice in his body. So when I say juice, I'm not talking about carrot juice. I'm talking about heroin. I'm talking about that opioid, boy. And here's what it does. Here's the only thing that opioid does. That opioid. Here's the only thing it does. It takes the critic and fucks it up. It just, it comes into the room. The heroin comes into the room and finds the critic and goes, boom, knocks the critic out cold. And now you're just playing. You're just having fun. And when you're just having fun, again, that's where you should be when you're trying to write a song. If you're having fun, you're writing "Come Together Right Now." Because the fucking critics knocked out because the heroin knocked it out. No. Unfortunately, with that opioid stuff, the critic gonna get up, and then you got to keep putting that juice in your body, and eventually you can't get enough juice in your body to knock the critic out, and then you're just shaking in your shoes. Nobody wants that. All right, let's listen to another new song from this month. It's called, I did write a bunch of songs. Maybe it was a long month, January. I don't know. 31 days in January, I think so. But I don't, who knows? Who cares? This is a song called If You Need Anything. This is definitely me trying to write a Fela Kuti song. For a while, I got into Fela Kuti in the early 2000s. If you want to listen to a great Fela Kuti song, listen to Shuffering and Schmiling, Shuffering and Smiling. It's hard to find. Like if you go to Fela Kuti, Felakuti, it's hard to find it on his Spotify. But if you just type in Shuffering, Shuffering and Smiling, it'll pop up, and listen to that. It's a long song. It's like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, but it's so good. Anyways, this is me trying to write something like that, but failing miserably, of course. All right, if you need anything. So I need like a cool band to do this. And by cool band, I mean a band straight up from Africa.
If you need anything, you can call me. How much you might call at your disposal, you see.
And by Africa, I mean Africa in the 70s, pre-Netflix Africa.
With the king, and don't you worry about a thing. And when the sun is asleep in the sky, in the night, don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it.
And you can't figure out what this world's all about, and all you can do is just scream and shout.
Let's crank it, boy. Let's crank it up a little.
Let me tell you what I know.
Let's crank it up, boy.
I will always be there. I will always be there. And when the lion whispers to the lamb, you're my one true friend. This is a lie.
That's a lie. He's not your friend.
And they go up together to some strange land, and the lamb is never seen again.
Yeah, that lamb is being
The
eaten.
lion is a lion,
The lion is a lion.
and the lamb is a lamb. Oh,
Yeah.
and you can pretend that this isn't true. Pretend.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of pretending going on in the world today, which I am not a big fan of. I mean, I like pretending, but I like when you're pretending to like say, hey, we're just pretending. Like, I love that. The problem I have, so I don't mind pretending, but as long as we go, hey, we're just pretending here. Like, it's cool to pretend. Like, I like to pretend. I write songs all the time, and in my songs, I like to pretend that I'm a certain type of person. Like in that last song, I was like pretending to be Fela Kuti, even though I'm not Fela Kuti. But it's fun to pretend, and but it's not like I did that song and then I told everybody, "Hey, everybody, I'm Fela Kuti now." No, I'm Bob Schneider, trying to write a song like this guy that I really like, and because it's fun to do that. It's fun to pretend, and it's fun to have a good time. Nobody's getting hurt, by the way, when you pretend. When you pretend and you're just having a good time, it's all good and it's all fun and games. But then people come in who are, I guess, dumb or stupid or just, I don't know, like don't have the ability to critically analyze anything and just look at things. It's so weird. It's so weird. I remember my son when he was in middle school. I don't know. I was saying, I was like using some kind of accent. I don't know, probably an Italian accent or something. Who knows? With him, and he was like, "Dad, you're being racist." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm just using an accent with you in the car. It's just you and me in the car. Nobody. We're just having a good time. We're pretending to have a good, but nobody's." Racist is like where you're saying that you're better than someone and you want to hurt, you want to dominate, you want to impose your will on them because you think they're less than you and all this stuff. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just using a voice and having a good time, joking around and having fun. And I think it took him a minute to kind of, because he was kind of taught like, oh, if somebody's using like maybe in school or something, if you're in school and you're using some, like an accent or something, it maybe in that situation in a public forum or something, people are going to get or maybe you're trying to make fun of somebody. Maybe you hear somebody say something and you think it's funny that they talk that way, and then you're making fun of them by talking that way. But that's not what I was doing. I don't know. Anyways, I think he figured it out. It took him a minute, it took him a year or two, and he was like, oh, I understand what racism is, and I understand what like trying to hurt somebody or shame somebody is versus, I don't know, making a joke or having a good time or whatever. Like if the intention is just to make somebody laugh, again, not at someone else's expense. If it's at someone's expense, then I say, no, it's not worth it. No laugh is worth somebody's pain. I will say this. I used to do this thing on stage where I would, if I thought of something funny and I could use one of my bandmates as the butt of the joke, I would do it because I thought, well, I'm entertaining an audience. We're all up here together. They'll understand that it's all a joke and everybody's having a good time. But what I realized was they weren't having a good time, and it was at their expense, and it made them feel bad. And it took me years to figure that out, and now I just don't ever do that anymore because it's not worth it. Having the audience laugh is not worth somebody up on stage with their feelings getting hurt. And I do say things when I'm playing live that will offend people occasionally, and I don't like it. Like if somebody comes up to me after the show and they're like, "Hey man, you said something that was really offensive," it makes me feel bad. Like that's the last thing I want to do is make somebody feel bad. I want people to come to my shows and I want them to escape from their life for a little bit because life's hard. I want them to have some feelings. I want them to enjoy being in a group of people who we kind of have, I don't know, we're similar in age or similar in, this music connects us somehow that I make. And we're not solitary creatures, so it's just nice to get out from your little solitary life and come and hang out with a group of people that are, for the most part, really nice. Like my audience is really nice. They're, just normal, nice people, which is great. They're not like, I don't know, they don't really belong to any weird fringe groups. They're not like, they're not like all, I don't know. Unless America, like middle class America is a fringe group. And they're not even middle class. It's not really an age. Anyways, I guess what I'm saying is at the end of the day, I just want people to have a good time. I want them to enjoy themselves, maybe laugh a little bit, maybe reminisce a little bit, maybe cry a little bit, maybe not feel so alone in terms of like, life is hard and sometimes it's sad and sometimes you feel lonely and sometimes you feel isolated, and hopefully the music, like me singing about that, they can go like, oh, somebody else feels that too, so I don't feel so alone. It makes me feel better. Maybe it's cathartic, whatever it is. But the last thing I want is I don't want somebody coming up and going, hey man, you said something that really bothered me. It like really triggered me, or it really made me feel bad. I feel horrible, and I'll think about it forever. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you don't care. You don't give a fuck, dude. You come across like you don't give a fuck when you're on stage. And I might come across that way because I do feel like as an artist, and I use that term real loosely, but I feel like as an artist, when I'm on stage, hey, this is my only time in my life where I feel completely free to do or say what I want. It's art. There's no right or wrong. It's art. And when you come into somebody's art space and you take your shit and apply it onto them, and then you come away and you go like, whatever your fucking thing is, whatever your thing is. If it's not like, oh, that was great, shut the fuck up. Unless you are going to say, oh, I went and saw this thing and it was fucking great. If that's not what you're going to say, shut the fuck up. Because guess what you're not doing? Anything interesting. You dumb motherfucker. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Let me get back to feeling bad because I made somebody feel bad. Again, that's the last thing I want to do. I want to have a good time. Sometimes I say some things that are ribald. Sometimes I say things that are shocking. Sometimes I say things that maybe go against somebody's religious or personal beliefs. And again, I'm only doing it because I think it's going to be entertaining, or I'm going to say something that's funny and lively and not boring. But again, if somebody gets upset and they come up and tell me, it really bums me out, because that's absolutely not my intention. I don't think it is the intention of most entertainers. I don't think most entertainers like go, this is really going to hurt somebody. I'm going to get on stage. This is really going to hurt somebody. No, they go, oh, this is a really funny joke. It's really going to bring some joy to some folks. And by bringing joy to folks, it's going to make me rich. And also I'm going to finally get laid. Anyways, that all goes in the equation as well, of course. All right, let's get back to the song club. Let me get off this soapbox. I love this soapbox. It's so beautiful. It's like from the 40s. All right. This next song is called You Are Good. It comes from, I think, Max Frost. By the way, Max Frost, if you don't know who that is, he produced my record that just came out, The Human Torch. He played all the music on all the songs, produced it, did an incredible job. Go check out his music. He's the best. But I think it was him that turned me on to this You're Good thing, which is like a response. Like if somebody's fucking with you, like let's say you text somebody and they don't get back to you right away, and then you text them again, they don't get back to you, and then they text you again, and you go, instead of going like, hey, what the fuck, dude? You just text, you are, capital letters, you are, and then good. And you just send that to them. And it's just a way of telling people to go fuck themselves, which I like. So anyways, I wrote a song called You Are Good. Now, are there a lot of lyrics in this? Yeah. If you think 3 words are good and 2 of them are letters, then it's got a ton of lyrics. It's called You're Good. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, this is German, by the way. This is, if you went to Berlin and went to a German dance club, this is what you're hearing. As soon as you walk in, you're like, oh, am I in Germany? Yeah, you are. You're in Berlin.
About my life. I'm not just talking about one person, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about form. I'm talking about content. I'm talking about interrelationships. I'm talking about God, the devil, hell, heaven. Do you understand?
You good? Oh, I forgot there was some talking. That guy's going to keep coming up, by the way, the talking stuff. All right, you get the idea.
I'm talking about my life.
You get the idea. That's a song you can. That's a song you can put on at your next fucking house party that you have at your house. You have a house party with people, and you're like, oh, let me put this on, and then you guys, I think you have to take drugs to enjoy that song for very long. I don't do drugs, so it's hard for me. I like the song, and I made a really cool AI video for it, so you can check that out. I'm not sure if the AI video is out yet. Oh, yeah, by the way, every Monday, probably for forever because I'm a creature of habit, but for sure for at least the next 6 or 7 weeks, every Monday there will be a thing called the Monday Morning Movie. And it's a video that I made using AI. I just have fallen in love with AI imagery and AI videos and stuff. And so I put those together, and I made one for that song, You Are Good. And I've done it with a bunch of like kind of weird fringe songs that I probably won't play with my band just because they're hard to play with the band. They're more like tracks that you would play like at a disco or, a DJ would play. And it's hard to recreate that with an actual band. So anyways, it's nice to find work for your songs, and they work in that video format. I like it, but of course my wife, if I try to show her anything that I've done with AI, she turns into that demon, and she screams at me and says, I don't want to see it. And just refuses to look at anything that has AI. Now, does she get on AI in the middle of the night and download thousands of images herself? Yes, she does. But they're not video. It's all still images. And eventually she'll get into video. I don't know. She doesn't like it. I love it because to me, the video that I generate using AI looks like the art that I used to draw, especially when I was younger, when I was in college. And when I first got to Austin, I did a lot of sort of dysmorphic figures that kind of went in and out of each other. And so the videos look just like something I would have drawn. So aesthetically, they're perfect for what I like. But I like weird shit. And a lot of people, they hear like Peaches or Metal and Steel, and they're like, oh, that's what he is. He's like dad rock. And maybe that music is that. I don't know. I think it's more subversive than that. I think that lyrically, I put a lot of kind of weird shit in my lyrics that don't necessarily fit with the sort of presentation of the music, which I find interesting and subversive, which I think is cool. And probably it's a reason why a lot of people don't necessarily cover the songs, because at some point they're like, well, there's this weird quirky verse in here. What's this? Otherwise the song, I could do it, but it's too quirky. Anyways, I like quirkiness, and I like quirkiness in art, and I like weird art, and I like weird music as well. So I'm drawn to that sort of thing. Anyways, who gives a fuck, as they say in the world that we live in. All right, let's listen to another. These are all new songs. I guess it's like 6 new songs from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new songs, which is a lot because I usually write a song a week. So I must have wrote one at the end of the last month, and it kind of slipped into this month, and then, I don't know, something like that. So, plus I wrote that extra song that was all crazy and weird. All right, this is called The Devil Versus My Baby. Let's listen to it, because right now I don't even know what this song's about, but once I start listening, I'll know. All right, here we go. The Devil Versus My Baby. Oh, there we go. Already we got that mandolin. Got me doing that long note. It's like,
oh, my baby, she hollers out in the middle of the night. Oh, it scares me. Oh, it scares me. Oh, it gives me such a fright. Well, the devil, he'll come around sometimes. He's got a way, of saying things that sound pretty nice. Like things could be better. And I'd say better. Yeah, but at what price? Well, you'd say, well, you can take this apple. Put it right there on your baby's head and shoot it all. shot like this. And I say, oh, she's my baby. She's my whole world, my Valentine. I know my aim is good, but my intentions are rusty, so I think I'll just pass on it this time. Well, the devil, he might say, you could buy yourself some sunglasses. You know, the kind that cost, $1 or $2. And when you show up at the club on a Friday night, man, everybody gonna be looking right at you. And the ladies, dream about you. They'll dream about you late at night while they're lying there next to their husbands. Will you be there in their minds, boy? Yeah, just out of sight. And I'd say, hey, I got my baby. That's better than anything that anyone can offer.
Anyways, that one, that one goes. I literally started as soon as that song started playing, I just immediately went into just started thinking about what have I said during this whole what was I talking about during this podcast? Have I said something that's going to really rile people? Oh, there we go. And then I was like, literally, once I start thinking about something, I don't even know. I lose. I'm like, I don't know what my surroundings are. I don't know what I'm listening to. I'm just lost in my head. And that happened, and I was like, how long have I even been playing this song? Anyways, that song, a lot of mandolin going on. And you might ask yourself, Bobby, did you play that mandolin? That's some really good mandolin. No, I did not. That is, I use a program called Arcade by a company called Output, and it's sort of a sampling software that you can when you're recording. I record on everything on my computer using Logic, which comes with your Apple. Well, it doesn't. No, GarageBand comes with your computer, and then the upgraded version of GarageBand is called Logic, and I record everything in Logic. All the songs you hear are mostly done in Logic. And it's a plugin that works in Logic, and you can do all kinds of things. I use it all the time in a lot of my songs, and I used it a lot in that song. That song was mostly just that sort of mandolin riff over and over again that I got from that program. And then I obviously had a lot of stuff to say about my baby. And again, when I say my baby in the song, whenever I'm writing a song, I want it to sound realistic. But that's not my intent isn't to write autobiographically or only do things that happen in my life. Now, I use some of the things in my life when I'm writing songs because I think it's important, little details and stuff that you use from your life are kind of cool. But if I just wrote from my life, I couldn't explain what I'm really trying to explain, which is how I'm feeling. And it's easier for me to explain how I'm feeling if the narrator is different than who I am, and if the subjects in the song are different than from the subjects in my real life. I don't want to use my wife. If I just wrote about my wife, it'd mostly be about her. We have a relationship. We love each other, and it's hard. We've been married for a long time. We've, a kid and a step. She's, my son is her stepson, and it's just like any other relationship. It's not easy, and it's fulfilling and rewarding, and all those things. And but it doesn't necessarily make for a good song. But I can, in a song, I can make our relationship very exciting, and especially in that last song, I talk about the devil coming over and saying, "Hey, man, why don't you put an apple on your wife's head and shoot it off or something?" All that kind of stuff is kind of crazy, and it's fun to talk about things like that in a song. But of course, nothing like that. Of course, nothing that would be horrible. You have to be William Burroughs famously shot his wife, killed her, doing the old apple on the head trick, and I'm sure that's where I got that lyric from. But he was also hopped up on that heroin. You got to be on that heroin to do kind of shit like that. I've been sober for 28 years. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't do anything. But I do have an active imagination, and it's fun to use it. And I like to write songs about crazy stuff. And that's one of those. Now, those are all the new songs from this past month. And there'll be more next month in the Song Club, as there are every month. And if you're not a Song Club member, it's easy to join. You go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bob Schneider, and you can join today. You get all these songs. The first Tuesday of every month, you get a little email and a little post, and you can go download all these songs and have them in your computer. Now, my manager pointed out recently, he was like, hey, this David Spade song, which we're about to release on a thing called 2 for Tuesdays, which is coming. I don't know if that's already happened or if it's about to happen, but every Tuesday I'm going to release 2 songs from the Song Club, and we're going to put them out there. We're going to put them out there for Spotify. We're going to put them out there for Apple, for whoever wants to listen to them. And because I've talked to a lot of my Patreon people, and they're like, hey man, we'd love to have these songs on Spotify and iTunes, so they're just easier to locate than if we have them in our whatever folder or something. So I've listened to what you've said, and I'm starting to do that. So now it's not going to be all the songs. It's not going to be the very brand new songs that I wrote this month. So if you want all the new stuff, if you want all of the songs, then go to Patreon, and it's real cheap and real easy. So you can do that. But I love this song, David Spade. And so, yeah, it's finally out in the Song Club. Again, it was weird. I went back and looked at it, and I was like, why was this never put out in the Song Clubs? Because I wrote it since I started doing the Song Club. And it was a weird month where something happened. Like, I don't know if I was on tour or something. I was doing something where it kind of I did one month where I did a bunch of weird old songs, and this was written that month. Anyways, I'm happy that you guys have it, because it's one of my favorite songs. And here it is. It's called David Spade.
Walking moonlight, up with David Spade light. Got all the answers like God in me, eating chow mein, with my lips always like a spaceman in front of the TV set. My favorite war is a never ender. Best thing I've said I can't remember. My favorite president, Hillary Clinton. Oh no, you didn't. Football dinner, Mickey Mouse tea. I'm sunglassed up and intuitive, eating chow mein, with my lips all wet, like a spaceman in front of the TV set. My favorite story is a never-ender.
There you have it. David Spade, from, I guess, 4 years ago is when I wrote that song. Pretty crazy that it's been that long since I wrote it. 2019 was the year of our Lord. Anyways, I love David Spade. I hope he hears the song, and I hope he likes it, and I hope he goes, oh yeah, I like this song. Oh, I should meet this guy, and then he comes to the show, and then we become buds, because I feel like we would enjoy each other's company, or I would enjoy his company for sure, because I listen to his Fly on the Wall podcast. Is one of the best podcasts around. He's one of the great guests on any podcast, and just a funny guy all around. I'm sure he wants nothing to do with me, because I think he's into the ladies, but maybe not. Maybe he's got a girlfriend now. Who knows? But I do like David Spade. I'm glad I got a song called David Spade. I hope he hears it, and I hope he likes it. And I hope he feels good. I hope he goes, somebody wrote a song about me, and it makes him feel good, because he's probably just like me, where he's like, wants everybody to love him and appreciate him. And I do. I appreciate him. I don't know him well enough to love him, and I'm also a dude who has a hard time saying I love other people, and except for my very closest family. Anyways, I'm going to start trying to say it more and say, I love you guys out there in the world, whoever you are. Even saying that, I was like, well, that was a mistake. Because now there's going to be some loony bin who's thinking that I'm telling them I love them, but and I don't know who they are. I don't. If you don't know if I know who you are, I don't know who you are. Trust me when I say that. All right. I am glad you're here, though. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to close out this song club with a song called Maniac. It's a cover. I did it a few years ago. It's just fun. Every once in a while, I'll do a cover for fun. I don't do them very often. I don't release them. A lot of people like to release those covers because they don't know how to write good songs, and so they'll release a cover, and then people will listen to it because they don't want to listen to their stupid-ass, boring bullshit. But they will listen to a song that they like. And so a lot of people do it, but I don't do that. Even though I probably should. I don't wear a hat either because my head's too big. All right. Take care. We'll see you next month on the Song Club. In the meantime, put on your dancing spandex. We're going to get out of here with a little song called Maniac that I was first, I guess was this from Footloose? I think it was Footloose. All right. That was a while. No, not Footloose. Flashdance. Jennifer Beals in Flashdance. That movie can't be good. I'm sure that movie's not good now, but it was great then, sort of. She was real hot. There were some nice dance scenes in it. All right, here we go. Yeah. Y'all take care. We'll see you next month. Have a good one.